Hey, shalom, shalom. Want to say all praises be to Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, Walter Quanium of Great Millstone, who rule well. Shalom to the sincere brethren. Akim out there across the four winds, the four corners of the globe, pushing in truth, the good news of Yahweh Shai, proclaiming salvation to the elect of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and proclaiming the downfall of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man and his wicked empire. So this video is going to be entitled, Hey, you Negroes still stuck on Africa? Because a lot of you jakes, man, you still, 2026, you still stuck on Africa, motherland Africa, all that BS, man. Which Esau really throwing you in a trick bag, man. Pushing how that Africa is the mother of civilization, all of that BS. Really to get you away from knowing the truth, that you the Israelites. Because Africans aren't chosen, man. And Africa ain't the chosen land. So Esau, it will happily have you take, Africa, the beginning of civilization, and blah, blah, blah. All of that BS over being the children of Israel. Notice that Esau never pushes Jake, you African Americans, as being the children of Israel. That's one thing Esau, Edom never pushes. Yeah, he push you, you the original man, all that BS, because he know that shit don't mean shit, because he understand who the chosen people are, man. He understand the chosen people are the Israelites according to the scriptures. So once we don't have Jakes, once we don't have these Negroes pushing that, the Israelites, they don't care what you push. Yeah, you could push that you African, you this, you that. But guess what? Once you Moors, but guess what? When you start pushing you an Israelite, that's where the problem starts, man. That's why, hey, brothers in the truth, we go so hard against that African BS, man. Because that's a major psyop, that's a major stumbling block to you Negroes, man, thinking that you are African. Which when African ain't done nothing for you, man. And ain't nothing going on in Africa, man. And that's a third world, fourth world continent, man. You understand that we are not Africans. Yeah, there are people in Africa, mainly, chiefly West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, but we are not indigenous Africa, man. Africans. So this is the book of Galatians chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. Come, so what's the chosen land? Jerusalem, man. And the people of Jerusalem, who are the Israelites. You understand? So yeah, Esau don't care. Yeah, call yourself an Ethiopian, call yourself a South African, all these different Hamitic nations, even call yourself a Nigerian. Esau ain't worrying about that. Esau worrying about you calling yourself an Israelite, man, a son of the Most High, because he wants to be that, man, and he has usurped that. He has usurped that identity. So this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. This is Moses speaking to the Israelites, man. You understand? When you read Deuteronomy, the first chapter, the first verse. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, the Israelites, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Is this the Africans? No. And the Bible is not the so-called white man's book. Is the Israelites' book, man. See, that's one of the other main things Esau, Edom has done, man. Confuse everything. Oh, that's the white man's book. The white man came to Africa. Nah, first of all, we fled into Africa, fleeing Roman persecution in 65 to 70 AD. You understand? Africa was a place of dwelling for, I think, maybe a couple hundred or 1,000 years or so. And then we were what? We were kidnapped by the Arabs, the indigenous Africans, and the so-called white man, and sent to this side of the world, man. North, South, Central America, and the Caribbean islands. So yeah, we was in Africa at one point in time, heavily in the West Coast, but that's not our indigenous homeland. And it's two different people. You understand? We're not Egyptians. We're not Ethiopian. So on and so forth. We're not any of these nations, but what? We the Israelites. And indigenous Africans are really our enemies, and they enslaved us going back to Egypt, man. A lot of you Negroes like to go to Egypt. You understand? When Egypt is that place is grimy as hell. I had a friend that went out there, Guyanese cat. Hey, man, that place is grimy, man. You gotta watch you gotta watch everything. And there's a bunch of sand niggas out there, a bunch of Ishmaelites out there running Egypt, man. Not even the indigenous Egyptians. That's how through that place is, man. So why would I want to go to Egypt? You understand? Because you niggas big up Egypt, you Kemetic community, you big up Egypt so much, but Egypt has fallen. The Hamites that ran Egypt, the indigenous Egyptians, the sons of Mizraim, them niggas are nowhere to be found in Egypt. You have a bunch of Arabs running Egypt, man, trying to give you tours of the pyramids, giving you tours of this, scamming you, so on and so forth, man. So you go out there and you're not interacting with your own people, so to speak. You understand? You interacting with a bunch of Ishmaelites, man, that conquered that land, man. You understand? But Egypt is so great, right? At least we explain how we fall and how we're gonna rise, man. You people, you have no explanations, man. You Egyptologists, you Ethiopian lovers, you Rastas, you have no explanation of how you're gonna rise again, man. We have an explanation of how we're gonna rise again via Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Via the you don't even talk about the nuclear destruction, man. You understand? But that's where all of these other philosophies and ideologies lack, man. They have no we have no end game, man. You understand? They have no end game. We have an end game, man. Which the end game is being delivered by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And you're not gonna be delivered under the banner of being an African, man, of being a Hamite. No, you're gonna be delivered under the banner of being an Israelite. And that so-called white man knows that. That's why he push. Yeah. African motherland. Yeah. You understand? How old we are? The oldest civilization, the oldest human bones, all this bullshit, man. 7 million years old, 10 million years in Africa. Man, which that whole millions of years old of the earth is all bullshit, man. The earth is what? I think they say, like, really according to scriptures, 12 to 13,000 years old, man. You understand? It's not all these millions of bogus years that the so-called white man pushes, man. Which is he really pushes us to go against the scriptures, pushes us to go against Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, all the evolution theories. So same reason why you push you Negroes being African, man. And brothers have the book. I think it's the Bible dictionary. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born about I think 96 years before the flood. I say remember it, brothers just bringing out all the time, down there on a weekly basis. Born about 96 years before the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, I think the Canaanites, and the Libyans. That's what they used to say. See, I quoted that joint right there. But the key point, brothers, is not the Negroes, man. Who are Negroes? You African Americans, you West Indians, you Haitians, man. You are the Negroes, man. And you are not Africans. You are not descendants of Ham. Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue. And this is referring to the Egyptians. The dog move his tongue, referring to the Egyptians. Against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord had put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. So there's a difference between an Israelite and an Egyptian, man. And at this time, these Egyptians are talking about the indigenous African Mizraim, children of Mizraim, Egyptians, man. Which those today would be the South Sudanese, those tall, super dark skin, ashy Sudanese people, man. You understand? Those were the people those were the superpower at one point, man. Those had us in slavery and captivity at one point. But guess what? The Lord take them out, man. And look at them today, man. Eating cow's dung, all bugged out, civil war, so on and so forth. The Ishmaelites oppressing them, so on and so forth, man. Which is a beautiful thing. But that's who you Negroes want to be. You want to go back to Egypt, man. When ain't nothing good come out of Egypt, man. The scriptures tell you, don't do as the Egyptians do. They was involved in homosexuality, incest, idolatry, works of witchcraft, so on and so forth. scriptures say after the ways of the Egyptians do not, man. But you have niggas in the black consciousness community. And even that shit has died out, man. See, one thing that has never died out is what the truth, man. The Israelites knowing that we Israelites pushing the truth, pushing Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. That ain't died out, man. But since I've been tuning into the truth, listening and learning and living the truth, hey, that so-called black consciousness community, it was big going back to what, 2012, 2013, with the whole debate. Now that shit is basically dead out, man. It ain't nobody talking about the black consciousness community, Sarnetta, Egyptology. All of that shit is really dead out, man. Really the only thing, the bulwark has been what? This truth. Because what? We breaking on the strongholds of this world. We breaking on the lies and the deceptions of this world. We have all the necessary answers needed for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whether you understand it, believe it, accept it or not. And that's one main thing for you hard-headed Negroes. You're not Africans, man. No matter, that's not the cradle of civilizations, man. That's not it, man. You are Israelites from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, man. Yes, there's all people in West Africa predominantly. Have to qualify that. But we are not indigenous Africans, man. And if you so African, man, how come you ain't a bunch of Negroes living in Africa, man? Because you know you go over there, them Africans going to oppress you. They're going to look to put you back in slavery, man. You go over there to places like Kenya or Ethiopia or South Africa. Or you go to Egypt, Libya, them Arabs going to put you in slavery, man. You know them niggas love putting people in slavery, them Arabs. Even if you go to West Africa, amongst the Jake out there, it's going to be issues, man. Because they're going to look at you like, nigga, we already catching him. What the fuck you come here to do, man? They trying to escape Africa. They trying to come to America. They trying to go to London. They trying to go to Belgium. You understand? But you coming over there talking about you trying to squeeze up. You know what I'm saying? Trying to squeeze up and, yeah, come back. Nigga, they trying to escape Africa, man. But you trying to go in. First of all, Africa is run by the so-called white man anyways, man. It's called neo-colonialism, man. Oh, this guy, Speedy, he was just out there in Africa. He was trying to buy a diamond. And here, I think he was in Botswana. Yeah, he was in Botswana, which is like Southern Africa. Which you might do have Jakes out there. But I think it's predominantly Hamites. But he was telling, the Hamite was telling him, like, yo, he was trying to buy a diamond. A pink diamond or something like that. And the Hamite was telling him, nah, we can't sell it to you. We could only sell it to the De Beers family. Who's the De Beers family? Edomite. Elite Edomite family, man. This is a Hamite, so-called black man, as you people like. He's saying in Africa, saying, yo, we can't see. Speed wanted to buy it, man. He's like, how much I could buy the diamond for? I want to buy the diamond. He's like, nah, we can't sell it to you. Because you are not the De Beers family. I think it's one or two families, but both are the De Beers family, man. One of them is the De Beers family, which they control the diamond districts in Africa, man. So you Negroes talking about going to Africa, you have not a clue, man. Begging up Africa, you have not a clue, man. This is book of Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 12. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword. So the Lord coming back to be slain Ethiopians. So if you're calling yourself an Ethiopian, if you're Ethiopian, you're going to be slain by the Lord's sword, man. Ethiopians are one of the main African groups that you niggas like to venerate, man. Especially you Rastas. You love to venerate Ethiopia, Haile Selassie. Guess what? They're going to be slain by the Lord's sword. They're going in to captivity. Isaiah the 68th chapter tells you that. Those indigenous Africans, they're going into hardcore captivity, man. You understand? Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword. So Ethiopia is going to be jacked up, man. Africa is already jacked up. Well, all them Hamitic nations, man, they going into captivity under the Israelites. They not promised salvation, man. They are heathens. And they're some of our chief enemies, man. So all you Negroes that you want to be Africans, hey, you better wake out of that, man. Because Africans ain't going to be saved. Indigenous Africans ain't going to be saved, man. They're going to be they're gonna be destroyed and go into captivity, man. Yeah, I know someplace in the book of Isaiah, one of these chapters where it talks about yeah, I think it's right here. This book of Isaiah chapter 60. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 5. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. Speaking about the salvation of Israel and us taking over the heathen nations. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, which I think these are Ishmaelite nations, Midian. All they from Sheba, which Sheba is Cush. All they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense. They shall shew forth praises unto the Lord. Come. So basically, all these heathen nations, the Ishmaelites, the Hamites, they're going to be serving unto us, man. And, hey, you don't want to, if you calling yourself that, hey, you're going to be, well, you're not going to be subject to that if you're an Israelite. You're just going to be bugged. You're going to be destroyed and come back. But nonetheless, why would you want to implicate yourself in being a heathen when we know what's going to happen to the heathens, man? Just because they're dark skin and some of them might have woolly-ish hair, if you can clearly see, they are not Israelites, man. According to the spirit, according to the truth, according to lineage, according to bloodline, they're not Israelites, man. So we're not stuck in Africa, man. We here as Hebrew Israelites. We're not stuck in Africa, and we understand and we know the truth, man. Civilization really goes back, mankind really goes back to what the Garden of Eden, Jerusalem, man. And that's the quote-unquote motherland, man. And we are Israelites, not Hamites, man. No matter how close we look to each other, no. Dark skin, so what? It's about bloodline, it's about lineage, man. It's about nationality. Israelites, you have Israelites, then you have what? Cushites, Mizraimites, Puttites, and Canaanites. Separate nations, man. And even amongst the Hamites, they're separate nations. That a Cushite ain't the same as a Canaanite, man. They're separate nations, man. But you Negroes, you make many books where you don't even know, you don't even understand that, man. See, with all our getting, we get understanding, man. So we understand that. Hey, so hopefully this was edifying. Gonna say all praises be to Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles was the quantum of great millstone who rule well, and shalom to the elect.